Hey guys, welcome to the Killing the Tea podcast. This is Gare,
And Kate.
and we are going to be discussing all things chills, thrills, and kills. Kate and I are going to be talking about our favorite books, TV shows, and movies that are in the thriller or crime fiction genre, as well as some reading habits and other items related to how we met on Bookstagram that will fit in with this podcast. So, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have fun and get totally terrified.
But I think that's like one of the reasons we also have so much to talk about is it's crazy how many of the same books we've read
Mm-hmm.
for years even like and then didn't talk about them because we didn't know each other yet.
I think it's also crazy that we have so many books in common, but we also have so many books that we're recommending to one another
Yeah.
in the same sense. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
really like right down the middle.
Yeah.
Um, because I always like, I mean, I have like secret tips on how to like find out what's coming up and like what's
Oh,
happening.
nice.
Um, and I always peruse Amazon.
Yeah.
You can pick a genre of books, and then
Mm-hmm.
like at the bottom you hit see all, and you
Mm-hmm.
do it by publication date at the top, and it'll like
Smart.
start with like the books farthest out, and then like as you
Nice.
like go down the list, it'll be what's either coming out soon or what's like recently been out.
Yeah.
So but even though I use that and I think that I know what's going on in the book world,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Right.
you are like helping me find so many other books that
Yeah.
I would have never
That's so cool.
found on my own. Like
Yeah, when I don't
Jessica
know which one
Payne.
to read next, sometimes I just go to your profile and see what you loved the most. I'm like, okay, I'll do that one.
I have my Amazon wish list. Like I have separate
Mm-hmm.
ones. I have ones for like books that I'm expecting review copies of. I have like
Nice.
queer romance. I have
Mm-hmm.
like general just like thrillers that are coming out, but I actually have my like general wish list is
Mm-hmm.
just books that you've recommended to me.
No, nice. That's
So like
awesome.
whenever you recommend one, I add it to my wish list really quickly, and then I know that I
Yeah.
can just like if I'm in a rut, I can
Yeah.
look and see what comes up. Like Jessica Payne, Samantha
Mm-hmm.
Haynes, some of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was writing down I read multiple of Samantha Haynes is what I was realizing when I was just looking at stuff for today.
Well, that's yeah. That's also I had a rut this weekend. I read
Really?
mhm. I
What's
read The
that
Butcher
good?
and the Wren and I
The
loved it.
Butcher and the Wren.
Yes,
Okay.
Wren. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was so fast paced. It was
Okay.
like a quick read and it was so good. It's Elena Urquhart. She does the
Okay.
Morbid podcast.
Okay.
It
You're
was so
reading
good.
podcasters books this month.
I guess
Well,
so.
me
Yeah,
too,
I know.
because
I
you
noticed that.
recommended the Ashley Flowers book, which we haven't talked about on here yet. Um,
um, but yeah, I read it. I loved it. But then the next two books that I read after that were just like
oh,
mediocre. And one of them's like a popular bookstagram author.
oh no.
But it just felt like a Lifetime movie, like it
Yeah.
wasn't like my favorite, but I didn't hate
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So then I just found myself in a reading rut and I was like,
Yeah.
looking back, I wish I would have picked up. Like I wish I could find something that I had the feeling of the Jessica Payne book,
Yeah.
especially for fall.
Yes.
I want
That
like
one
a
was perfect.
it was so good. It was so good
Yeah.
and I could not put it down.
Yeah. I loved it. And the character was so fun. Like all of it. The setting. It
The
really is a really
setting.
good fall one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want because like right now it's like this is my time to shine in my happiness because I'm like
Yes.
it's finally like cool here and
Oh,
it's perfect for
nice.
like blanket and a hoodie and like a hot cup of coffee or tea or whatever.
Mm, mhm.
And then like reading some scary ass crime fiction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we watched a lot of scary movies this weekend. Like quite a few of them. And one of them that you recommended, Fresh, which actually you recommended it last week, so everybody's heard about that.
so good.
It
So
was
good.
amazing. Very
When you
unique.
were yeah, when you were messaging me, I was like, oh, should I watch Fresh again? Because I really wanted to, but I don't really remember what I watched this. Yo, yeah, I watched Halloween 2 this weekend.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I just love the
good.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the perfect time too. Are you getting orange leaves yet? Because we're not.
Yes,
Oh,
we
nice.
are. It's been raining like a lot the past couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I've noticed that it was that kind of annoying thing in the beginning of fall where I noticed the leaves were dying, but it was
Mm-hmm.
still hot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now I'm like really paying attention to it because
Mm-hmm.
it's just, especially like around here, it's so nice when it starts to like change up and everything and
Yeah, I bet.
waking up and having it be cold and just
That's
my
nice.
jam. My
It's
jam.
cold in the mornings for us, but it's 88 right now outside and humid. Like
Oh
it's
no.
nasty.
I can't do humidity. It is
So
probably
bad.
gonna probably gonna piss you off by telling you. It's 58 here.
We gotta
Yeah.
tell Tyler we need to move.
Yeah. It's like the with well tomorrow tomorrow the high 74, which is like very strange. And then it just
Yeah.
goes back to like I don't think it's gonna be higher than like 60 the rest of like the next 10-day forecast.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. I haven't looked at the weather for the week yet.
I
All I
mean,
know
if
is
it
we
was
have
88 and humid, I wouldn't either. I don't blame you.
yeah, I'm like, I don't need to know anything more. I'm gonna stay inside.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, I felt it. I'm
Yeah.
done. So
That's
what
the
kind of
best.
book was The Butcher and the Wren?
Well, I'm glad you asked
Yeah.
because it is my favorite type of crime fiction thriller.
Is that Nordic noir?
Serial killer.
Oh, look
I
at me trying
mean,
to show off.
Nordic. Okay, you know what though? You're not wrong because
Right.
Nordic noir is super atmospheric and
Yeah,
usually deals with a serial killer. Honestly, like
it
a lot
does.
of Nordic noir is a serial killer thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just snows when they have them.
Yeah.
This one is about a medical examiner and a serial killer in the Louisiana Bayou.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it was very good. I don't think that I can say more because I don't want to spoil. It's a very short book. It's about 250 pages.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
So it was a very quick read. I absolutely loved it. The pacing was great. There were no like moments where I was like, this feels, I hate to say filler, because
Yeah.
obviously like when you're an author you have something like in your mind when you're telling a story and you want people to be in like as enthralled in it as you are excited
Right.
to tell it. So
Mm-hmm.
but there were no like moments where I was like there were no lulls, we'll just say.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key to keeping like Tyler interested in anything. So if I know it's like a story that just keeps moving, like he doesn't get bored.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I need.
Movies are the same way.
That's what I need. What did you read this weekend? Anything?
So I finished, what did I finish this weekend? Um, I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think I finished Look Closer on like Friday,
The
maybe.
best.
I don't know. I love that one though. That
So good.
was amazing. I speaking of types of thrillers we like, I love con thrillers, like when they're good. Like so
Mhm.
fun. Like even if you just have two points of view, but having like four, that was mind blowing. And it was so good. And
So
I could
good.
not put it down.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, not anything against it. It was obviously a very original idea, but I feel like
Yeah.
when I read that book, he took everything out of your typical average thriller that
Mm-hmm.
works and combined them all together with one really fantastic story.
I would agree. That is a really good spoiler free description of it.
Like,
I like that.
there were elements that were kind of like Gone Girlish. There were elements that were like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Peter Swanson.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
It
spoiler
reminded me
free,
of The Kind
obviously.
Worth Killing when I finished it.
Yeah. And I love the what would you the setting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of like suburban aspect, but
Yeah.
then there's also the city aspect
Yep.
and it takes place around Halloween.
Mm-hmm. It
So
was great. I really liked it a lot.
yeah,
It
I
was
love that
I
one.
was making me think about like it's not a super deeply character driven story.
Hmm.
Like it's not fleshing out characters as much as like some other ones, but it's making me realize how much like sometimes I still just enjoy a really well executed plot that like is so twisty throughout the whole book. And then sometimes I do really like a book because it's really character driven. So I actually do kind of like both.
100%. I think it's a very fine line
Mhm.
because there are moments where something like Look Closer that is like
Mhm.
really fast paced, if there
Yeah.
were more character development in it, I think that it
Mhm.
might have kind of slowed down the pacing of the story.
I agree.
Um, but yeah, there are some people who are fantastic at writing really fast-paced stories, but with like really
Yeah.
great character development, and sometimes it drags the story down.
Yeah. I know.
Like there's one book that you and I discussed that we didn't really care for, and I
Mhm.
felt like the character development in that was kind of what brought the story down.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
You
so
don't
yeah,
want your book to be too long. Like just
no.
like you don't want a TV series to go on for too long. It's the same thing.
I think Look Closer was pretty long though. It was about 400
Yeah, I
pages.
know. He pulled it off. Like it did
I don't
not
know
feel
how.
too
No.
long because it was like 450 pages. It
You
was
know what else
long.
I think of too? Is
Hmm.
sometimes I think of the like I don't even want to say I'm a foodie because I honestly eat a rotation of like the same five things. I
I would
have
say the exact same thing about myself, but like I love food.
yes, 12-year-old like I will like pizza for instance. Like I love
Hmm.
pizza, but like I will rotate like where I get it from, but the thing
Right.
about Look Closer that I remember is it was like
Hmm.
storming here when I was reading it,
Ooh, nice.
and I had the best Chinese food of my life when I read. And I was like, what a
Oh, that's
combo!
amazing.
What a
That's
combo!
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I love when I DoorDash something and read on the couch and then food just appears. It's a very good moment.
I I don't think that we have DoorDash around here. Like
Yeah.
I'm really out in the sticks. It would be like an Amish buggy that would be delivering it if we did. Like no lie.
We didn't have it for forever because like it was on the coasts for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it slowly worked its way. But there were like years where like we would hear people talk about it in podcasts and I'd be like, what is that?
Yeah. My so like I have to drive everywhere to like get my takeout, but
Yeah.
it's anywhere between 15 minutes to a half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Sometimes I really like, especially on the weekends when I get takeout, I
Mm-hmm.
love like reading a book and being like, okay, this is my like halfway is my stopping point.
Yeah.
I'm going to digest what I read on my way to go pick up the food and back. And then like that way I can
Yeah.
kind of come up with my own theories. So
Yeah. I like that.
I mean, however, obviously this winter when it's like super crappy and it's snowing and blowing and there's freezing rain, I'm going to
Mhm.
wish we had DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah. That
But
is when it's nice, but then you feel like you have to tip them so much.
I feel like I have to tip everybody. Can we just
Oh,
talk
I
about
tip
that? Like,
everybody. I just mean I feel like I need to tip them more when they like are in a storm.
oh yeah, 100%. But like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I have to tip everybody. And the thing that sucks about that is there are some places that you go to, and when you sign your receipt, there's an
Yes.
option to tip. But
Yeah.
like, even like I go to Subway on
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays before we record,
Yeah.
and I noticed today like I didn't have cash on me because I usually
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Me
There was
neither.
no thing when I like put my card in. It was just like, okay, thanks, like have a good day. Like I didn't have to sign anything. I didn't have to put my pin in. Like there was no option to tip, and I felt like such an asshole.
Oh,
And I because I had
that's
no cash
weird.
on me. Yeah,
That's weird that it didn't print one out.
because I'll always tip, even if I'm just like doing takeout or like Subway or something. But like
Right.
today was just so if you work at Subway in upstate
You're
New York
sorry.
around me, I love you guys so much. And it's always the same girl that is
Mm-hmm.
working, and she is like the sweetest little honey bun in the entire world, and I just
Oh,
like she's so friendly, and she makes like a bomb ass veggie delight sub. So
that's exciting. We
props to
had
her. I'll get you next time, girl.
yeah. You're like, I will come with cash, more
next time you're
cash.
next time you're getting $20 as a tip.
That's nice though. We when we lived, it doesn't matter. When we lived somewhere else, we were really close to a Subway. and we got to know the person who worked there all the time, and then we were kind of sad when we moved because she like knew what we wanted. We would like talk to her about stuff. That stuff's like fun when you kind of get to know people that way.
100%.
Yeah.
I went on like a while where I was just burnt out from Subway and I was like, ugh, that sounds horrible.
Mhm.
But like for the past few months, I've just been noticing that similar to like a reading rut, like when I'm in like a dinner rut and I don't know what I want, like
Yep.
Subway just always hits the spot. You know, like
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
do I want Chinese food? No, that doesn't sound good. Do I want pizza? No, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound good. Subway,
Yep. We
Subway.
are sponsored by Subway.
I wish.
One day we will. We'll make it a goal.
I wish. Could you imagine? Oh my God. I
Mhm.
don't even want, like, obviously I would accept free food, but like, even if Subway sent me like a t-shirt, I would
That's all
wear
it
the,
takes.
I would wear the shit. Honestly, like concerts, I need a t-shirt. Traveling
Mhm.
somewhere, I need a t-shirt. Like, that is just my go-to.
Yeah.
I love this like trend right now of them having like vintage pop
Yeah.
culture t-shirts like 90210.
Yes.
I found one that had like like the Scream movies on them, which obviously I
Oh,
bought. Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I live in t-shirts.
Same.
I don't dress up at all.
Now that I like work from home too, I mean, it's been
Mhm.
a couple of years, but now that I work from home, like it's just nice. Not that I like super dressed up when I went into the office, but like
Right.
it's
Me
nice to be
neither.
like, oh, look, like athletic shorts. I can wear those around the house and working from home. And like, oh,
Yep.
t-shirts. Like this is it feels better telling myself that it's work attire compared to
Yes.
like just more clothes for me to lounge around my house and read in.
Right. That is the dream though. Lounging and reading.
Yeah. Yeah. So now that we kind of know a lot about our Subway habits,
About Subway,
I'm like,
food, our
I know you've been like
weekends.
keeping track of like what we discuss on here, like book wise and stuff.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be my goal to
Mhm.
listen to these episodes after and wonder how many times I mention Subway
That's a good point.
or how many times you mentioned that Tyler made fun of your bangs, which by the way look fantastic today.
Thank you. My
I mean
hair is shiny
they
today.
always your I think your bangs always look good.
Thank you. You see
But
the good versions.
I but I today there is just light bouncing off those puppies like
My hair
nobody's
is just very shiny
it is
today.
very shiny
I
today
know. I
and
got on camera and I texted Tyler. I was like, "My hair looks great, just so you
yeah,
know."
yeah, I know.
Thank you.
I
Thank you for
hope you
noticing.
I listen, Kate the Great, I always notice the locks.
Oh, you do.
I always do. I got my
Mhm.
hair cut yesterday
Ooh, nice.
and this is like the perfect length because like she
Mhm.
used to like I love her, but she used to cut it like a little short to my liking. So sometimes we would like skip, like she would just do the sides and the back and everything and kind of let
Yeah,
the top grow out a little bit. But it was, yeah, it's the perfect length right now, and I'm loving it. But there's also
I get
something
that.
about whether I get a haircut and it's like longer or shorter than I want.
Mhm.
I just always feel so much better when I get my hair cut. Like that is the
I
week that
get
you
it.
take on the world.
It really is though. Like
Mm-hmm.
often it aligns for me that I get my nails filled, I
Mm-hmm.
redo my lashes, and I do my roots, and I'm like, I am invincible right now.
Yeah. Yeah. For me,
And
it's a
trim my
haircut.
bangs. That's the other one. Yeah.
For me, it's just like the haircut and a good old eyebrow wax. And then I'm just
Yeah.
like ready to go, which is
Yes.
funny because I socialize like one day a week. But I do a lot of stuff on the other days. So like
Yeah.
my bestie at Subway, like I want to make
Mhm.
sure I look fresh and good for her. Like I want to make sure I look fresh when I go
Yeah.
grocery shopping, when
Yep.
I go to the bookstore. I mean,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
there's nothing like
It
a
feels
fresh
good.
haircut and like picking
Mhm.
up one of your favorite books when you get home.
Yes.
Because I'm in between books right now. I don't know what's upcoming for me.
Oh, no. That
Yep.
sounds so
So
bleak.
it's like a first date
Ooh.
or like a blind date. It's like
Oh,
this could either be a look closer moment, or it
yeah.
could be like the two moments that I had this past weekend when I read a book that I just thought was okay, and then the book that I read directly after that I thought was okay.
Mm,
So I'm hoping my next one is more like Look Closer or like The Butcher and the Wren.
yeah, for real though. I hate when
But
that happens.
yeah, but
I haven't had it happen too many times this year.
well, I have
This
to do
year's
a
been
little
good for me.
digging. I
Mm-hmm.
need it's fall. I want to
Mm-hmm.
prioritize like the good shit. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I want
Mm-hmm.
my favorite type of thriller is a serial killer thriller, and I
Yep.
will die on that hill. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. I don't feel as twisted that that's my favorite type of thriller
No.
because America is obsessed with serial killers. They are
Yeah.
obsessed with true crime. I'm only
Yes.
reading about fictional people
Yeah.
being murdered
That's
and
how I
stuff.
feel about it.
So I am not twisted. I am just, you
Mm-mm.
know what? I love playing detective.
Yeah, you need to read, you know how we were talking about the Brian Freeman books? That's what you need to read if
That
you want a spooky serial killer one right now.
that is a very good idea. I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking I might be starting that when we're done recording tonight.
Yeah, I think that might be what you need. It's so twisty and
I
spooky and creepy.
I run out of room very easily on my bookshelves. So
I know.
I sometimes have to like really bite the bullet and get rid of things that I've had for a few years that I haven't read yet
Yeah.
because I have that mentality that if I decide I'm going to go back and read this, I could very well just get it on my Kindle,
Mhm.
still supporting the author, actually supporting them twice because I bought
Right.
the book twice.
Yeah.
But that's a very good idea. That
Yeah.
is a very good idea. And
Yeah.
I think the book that you're recommending is part of a trilogy.
Yes. The Nightbird is the first one.
So that might be something that it's sold. The
Mhm.
Nightbird is the first one you
Yeah.
said, correct?
Yep.
It is $1.99 on Kindle.
That's amazing.
This is going to
That's
be
exciting.
okay. Well, I had fun, so I'll talk to you next week.
So
Just kidding.
goodbye.
See ya. That's
We solved the
hilarious.
problem.
Yep, yep. This episode was us just talking about Subway and Kate the Great helping me pick my next read. So toodles, guys.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah,
But
I
yeah,
just love
serial killer thrillers is your vibe.
yes, it is my
I think
vibe.
that's your number one. I don't know if
That
I could pick my number one though.
that is my number one. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
There is nothing I love more. You know what it is? I think it's I love
Mm-hmm.
playing detective.
Yep.
And right now there's a trope between not so much like a serial killer like a Ted Bundy kind of style, but
Mm-hmm.
the serial killer thrillers of you thinking it's one person and then finding out like 10, 15, 20 years later that it
Yeah.
was a different person or that that
Yeah.
person could possibly be guilty or could possibly be
Mm-hmm.
innocent, like A Flicker in the Dark.
Oh, I was thinking about that one when I was looking through stuff today, and I was like, that one was so good.
So good.
Because when we were thinking
So,
about auto buys, I was like, I almost consider her an auto buy, even though I could only buy one right now. Do you have her new arc?
not yet.
Okay. I
Not
don't
yet.
either. I requested it.
I I'm fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
They because I like love Minotaur, I love St. Martin's Press, and so
Mm-hmm.
like they do like the blasts where they
Okay.
send you like here's what's coming out, let us know what you want, like, you
Oh,
know.
nice.
So I hope I mean if I had her second one right now, like that would be
Yeah,
I would
that'd be
be
what you'd
reading it.
read.
That'd be what I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading. Um,
Yeah.
right now, like talking about, I have this problem where like when I talk about a book that I love, I want to reread it, you know, and
Yeah.
A Flicker in the Dark is
Want to
just
experience it again. I loved that book so much.
so
I like
good.
stayed up really late finishing it.
Same, same. I don't remember what I
So
even ate. That's how good the book was. I don't remember what I ate when I was reading
good. For
it.
some reason, I feel like I was eating a Rice Krispie.
For some reason, I want to say I was probably getting takeout pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will, I mean, a serial killer thriller will just, I love psychological thrillers, but I mean,
Yeah.
when you ask me like what's your favorite kind of thriller, it's just so easy for me to say serial killer thriller. The
Mm-hmm.
only things that I like, I mean, I'm pretty easy when it comes to thrillers. The only thing I can't
Mm-hmm.
do are like
That's yeah.
espionage or spy thrillers
Yep.
because I don't mind those genres in like a movie when it's kind of like laid
Yeah.
out for me, but in a book, I just don't have the brain capacity,
Yeah. There's a lot
you
to
know.
translate,
So
like
I think,
movement wise and all of that.
yeah, psychological thriller and serial killer thriller are my top two. A
Mm-hmm.
psychological serial killer thriller will like send me into an
That
oblivion. Like you will not
that's
hear from me
my
for days.
thing is like it's kind of hard for me to pick a top because when there are multiple together, it typically
Hmm.
is amazing. And so then I can't tell you, I couldn't really tell which part of it is the part I loved. But yes, when it's like notes on an execution,
That's on my
like
list.
flawless for that description. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
Oh.
I was like, obviously, you and I can like our episodes could be 7 or 8 hours if we had the time
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
audience of people that would want to
Yes.
listen to us for 7 or 8 hours.
Yes.
But
Yep.
there are so many books that sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have mentioned that one. But the podcast episode would have been 5 hours.
Yeah. I know.
So,
I know.
but Notes on an Execution
Mm-hmm.
broke my heart, scared
Mm-hmm.
the shit out of me, and just
Yeah.
had me like in such an emotional
Me too.
turmoil.
It was so heavy. Like when I finished it, I
So
was just like
heavy.
sitting there quietly. I was just like, that was a lot.
There's like one scene that just
Mm-hmm.
scared the hell out of me, but it also like broke me as like a person and I had to
Mm-hmm.
take a break.
Yeah.
And I can't say what it was, but
Yeah.
it was when something had like happened that I was not expecting because it is kind of like I guess it like flirts with like literary fiction almost a little bit.
Oh
So you
yeah. Oh
don't really
yeah.
expect to be shocked. Like that was one that I was like, this is very
Yeah.
character driven, but I'm
Yep.
into it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
are telling me that this girl loves like this kind of bubble gum and her favorite
Yeah.
color is yellow, and I immediately know
Yeah.
what kind of person she is, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yes. Yep.
But for that one, like I was not expecting to be shocked because it was character driven the entire time
Yes. I
in
agree.
such an amazing way. And then I just, oh my gosh, I would
Yeah.
love to read that again. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So good.
It was
But I love
great.
stories like that, that kind of like mess with like your expectations of a thriller or
Mm-hmm.
they mess with like the boundaries of a thriller.
Yeah.
Um, have you read Chasing the Boogeyman?
No, I haven't.
Richard, I'm gonna murder his last name. Um, Shizmar, Chizmar. It's called Chasing the
Oh,
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman. I thought you said Bohemian.
Oh, that would be fun. No,
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
Yeah. Okay, Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a Kindle Unlimited one.
It get it.
Yeah,
You will not like
I will.
I will literally buy you a gift card if you read it because you will die. It is so good. It is a serial killer thriller
Okay.
written like a non-fiction.
Whoa, I
So it
love
is
that.
written like true crime. It's
Oh my
based on
gosh.
something that happened in this author's like life as a child or like surrounding, and his imagination got the best of him and he did like a what if moment. Like his main character's name is Richard Chismar.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It is so
Yeah, it says
good.
it's
You
a
will love it.
heartrending work of meta fiction. I do love meta stuff. That is very meta.
You're going to like, I'm telling you, between like Fresh
Mm-hmm.
and Look Closer and then this, you
Yeah.
are just going
Okay.
to be like the happy. That's why your
Nice.
bangs are so shiny because you're so
It
happy.
is. I'm so
That's
happy.
why.
I'm
That's
glowing.
why. Yes. Yeah, literally, like it's coming out of your hair follicles, your happiness.
It is. You can see it. That's I am really excited though. This looks great. And it
Yeah,
was
you'll
free.
love it. Beat it.
Well, I pay for Kindle Unlimited.
How much is Kindle Unlimited?
It's like $8 a month.
Okay, I thought it was like $30 a month.
Mm-mm. And
Damn,
typically, like now that we're talking about it, you're gonna get ads now that'll be like, get
good.
your first 3 months free. Like that happens all the time too.
I feel like there's a huge amount of books that are on Kindle Unlimited.
A lot of romance. I know that's like a lot of romances on it too.
I feel like when it first started, nothing against Amazon. Like I love my
Oh, I know.
Kindle, it's my baby. But when it first started, it were like it had books that I like wasn't like super interested in.
Yep.
But now like
That's how I
if a
felt.
book like Chasing the Boogeyman is on it, then
Yeah, and
obviously
you
they're
read
turning up
Lucinda
there.
Berry. Have you read her books? Yeah, we
She
both read Under Her Care, right?
I read The Return,
Okay. Yeah, she has a
The
lot of books,
Returned.
and hers are on Kindle Unlimited.
So she keeps popping up on my book talk.
Me too. She's going
She
hard.
has a new book coming out. I don't know what it's called, but it's like dark water with like a
Yes.
car submerged in it. I
Yes.
don't care if it's about ants going to Subway and they crash their
Right.
car. I am reading that book because the cover is beautiful.
Yes,
And I
it
think
is.
I want to say, okay, this is all alleged because I don't know this 100%, but I think she used to be a trauma therapist
Yes.
and now she writes thrillers. And
Mm-hmm.
that is what I think makes her stand out because her character development is
Yeah.
not like people aren't having these things happen to them in these books and just like
Mm-hmm.
cleaning the
Yes.
dust off and then just like I'm back to my happy normal self. And I think that's what I
Yeah.
love about her is like no matter what kind of book she reads, it's going to be uh there's going to be an aspect of psychological thriller in that because of
Yes.
how good her characters are. So
Yep. I will say Under Her Care is another one that is so you would love that one too. It's not super spooky, but it's like dark and twisty.
I love Dark and I love Twisty and I
Mm-hmm.
loved her book and she's very, very
Off the
nice.
Deep End is the one you're talking
Off the
about
Deep
too,
End.
that's about to
Yes.
come out.
Yes. Yeah. That
Yeah,
I
I'm really excited.
that is I mean, I want to have it on my Kindle because
Uh-huh.
I feel like I've been reading a lot on my Kindle lately and
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
But that cover is so beautiful. Like I
It
need the
is.
physical copy of that.
I know. It's really pretty.
Even if
I'm
I'm
looking
like
at it.
standing in like a river somewhere with that book for like a solid bookstagram picture, I don't even care. It's just,
I
ugh,
get it.
I love it. I
Dude, I'm
love.
trying to find the time to drive up to Wakarusa, which is where um Ashley Flowers' book, why can't it? All Good People Here took
Hmm.
place. It's only like 2 hours away from me. And I want to make like a vibe video
Oh
with
my
like
God.
from the book, but it's like I haven't had enough time to spend like 4 hours in the car yet. But I have like a shot list. I really want to make it.
I'm dying for this.
I
I'm dying for
know.
this. I can't wait to see that. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that. That's another
Those
good
part
one.
mm-hmm. That one was so good. That one was wild.
Somebody messaged me recently on Instagram
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Oh my God, I read this book because you recommended it. I absolutely loved it." And then they said the same thing about the ending that you had said to me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, well, I guess it could be like either or, like whatever like want to believe. And then she like went back and like reread the last chapter and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love,
Mainly what I agree with is like you don't technically know, but I know what you mean too, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But I thought of you because it was just another
Yeah.
like hopeful person out there that just
I
wants to
know. I
believe in
know.
the
I was like,
sweetest.
what if she just wanted to leave it up to interpretation so we all talk about it? Which
Yeah,
is actually a
yeah.
good strategy.
if I were a writer, I think I would do that. I would be the kind of person that people would be pissed at because I think that I would have
That's
a lot of
yeah,
that.
being polarizing is still I was talking to Tyler about it because I was telling him there were polarizing reviews for it. And I was like, but so many people are commenting and talking about it. Like, that's what you want. Especially when like a lot of the people did love it.
I have a dream of writing a book one day and like
Mm-hmm.
having this like big ass showdown between your protagonist and your antagonist and
Yeah.
just having something happen. Like, I don't care if they go over a balcony. I don't care if like something happens where you think they are both dead and having
Mm-hmm.
the very end have like the paramedics and the police come and like say like we've got a live one in here and having it end.
That's great.
So, are you the person that believes that that person that went through so much, your protagonist that like you were really rooting for, like did they survive or did evil win?
I feel like I need to cut that out because what if you write it and we don't want people to know the end, right?
I mean, I feel like it could be if I could just focus enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like some pretty solid ideas that I would like to write. I just don't know what kind of writer I am or if I'm a good writer. I would love to be the person that found somebody who's a really good writer but like needs help with like ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we just work together and I'm like, what about this idea? And they just like turn it into something brilliant.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this episode. If you did, make sure that you come back on Thursday for part 2. And don't forget to stay up to date with everything that we're reading and talking about on our Instagrams at Gare Indeed Reads and at the girl with the book on the couch. Links are also in the show notes, so make sure you follow.